back. Lewis made an important save, and Stellitano's block on the second attempt was one which was needed.
The doctor just putting his hand up to say to Ferrer, perhaps I wanted to go on my own and try and find something, but the pass option was available.
There is Ferrer for Michael Newen, who flashed it. And Tyler Lewis laid a palm just in the nick of time. That was flying from Newen, and he might get another look. Instead this time, forced to recycle to Abdallah, whose ball over the top was searching. Henderson flicked it on for Sapina. Caro clipped it in the air. Newen tried to take it down for Ferreira, who found it via Stellitano. Newen on for Caro, around Stellitano. Oh, it's a beauty. Fantastic footwork. And a deft drill into the top corner has Pascoe Vale 2 up.
Brilliant. Absolutely world class from Andre Caro. The way he had all the composure to just take the opponent right out of the equation. And once the ball settled, Ethan, no goalkeepers getting anywhere near that. Right into the top left corner, and Pascoe Vale have doubled their money.
The doctor, truly with scalpel-like precision. As was that ball to find Stellitano, who couldn't turn it back for Biliansky. Ferreira wanted to go on the march, now had two around him, and Sapina picked his pocket. Biliansky. Ferreira with a good challenge, and now it's 3-on-1. Caro's got options either side. One is Newen, the other was Ferreira, who couldn't find his footing to turn it in.
And Michael Newen puts his hand up for Ferreira to say, yeah, that was on me. A pass right at the pivotal moment from Michael Newen, just letting him down, and Pascoe Vale, they came forward in a 3, and they really should have had their third goal.
Henderson taking the sting out of things. Biliansky for Henderson. Sapina. Switch for Biliansky. Felix enjoying some possession. Biliansky threaded for Stellitano, who shifted around Lamb, but not around Newen. Oh, that's classy. Ever so clean from Newen. Unleashes Lamb, who's charging at Henderson and forcing a fabulous tip out of Tyler Lewis.
Phoenix at the minute, defensively, not really being able to contain Pascoe Vale, who have so much endeavour when they transition the ball forward. And really are looking good to find another goal. Other side in front by 2.
Ferreira. Lamb wanted to flick it for Newen. Henderson cut it out. On it ahead of Biliansky, and Lamb on the follow-in has bobbled it wide. My word. My word, how it opened up. Tyler Lewis once again left stranded as that ball hurtled towards his goal.
Sapina to try to change the fortunes of the Phoenix. Ball to find him a bit too deep. Abdallah has made a couple of nice saves when called upon. He goes for Newen. As Phoenix are looking to try have some fresh injection of pace, try change their fortunes.
Newen's had a very bright start to this game, and it's a good track from Juan Garcia on this occasion, who goes with him and is just able to keep up to stop him charging down that flank again.
Perez corner. Took too long, said the official. Garcia will have a side ball. Lewis. Juan Garcia. Henderson. Sapina had to stretch. Now on. Lamb making a run to his left. He's found Kevin Lamb. Ferrer's there to arrive. And Pascoe Vale find their third. They move forward in tsunami-like fashion, do those in black, and steal all the spoils in which are on offer.
Tyler Lewis is getting increasingly frustrated, you can see, with the defensive work ethic. That's twice Kevin Lamb's been allowed to charge down that flank unopposed. And Ferreira, this time at the back post, is found wonderfully. And he's just invited to turn it in. And Pascoe Vale have started this game incredibly well.
They might have another look here as Arndt takes it on. It had real intensity, the shot. And yet again, in the middle of the court, Pascoe Vale completely all over the Phoenix. Ferrer, not around to Raha. Garcia to see it out, but the real talking point is how Pascoe Vale are just going right down the middle. And when they are to find the ball in transition, how damaging they've been. They might try yet again with Evangelista. Lamb, all the options are cued towards broadcast side. Ferrer calming things down. Maurizio Novak was outspoken in the first embers of this game. He's enjoying a 3-goal lead right now, the manager.
How quickly it can all change as well for Maurizio Novak and co. They had to withstand a bit of pressure from Northern Phoenix in that time as well. But they've been terrific since then. They've played it perfectly. They've drawn them in and exploded on the break. They've utilised Lamb, Evangelista on, and then Michael Newen as well.
Kevin Lamb, Araha backpedaling, Henderson sliding, doing what he'd have to. Had to go around a couple of players at Henderson. He remains lane. Now for Ferreira, could be 4. Lamb just overshooting the mark, but Pascoe Vale, and each time they come forward, they look so promising to keep inflicting pain upon the scoreboard.
And maybe Ferrer should have gone alone on that occasion. Tyler Lewis does come to close the angle. All it needs in that situation on the bobble is a little dink, and you're over the top of him. Then the on-runners can turn it in for an easier one, or it can go in on its own. But again, it's just that blistering pace the Phoenix can't keep up with, and they keep drawing a situation where they're 3-on-1 and the carrier has got options either side.
Sapena has been stunted. Pascoe Vale have done a decent job of containing him so far. Abdallah. Now Lewis. Thought he'd try his luck over the top. Evangelista got in the way and, well, could have prevented that from being a side ball. But the Phoenix will restart play.
And Garcia on for Sapena, who has been silent so far. Araha, who sorted his feet out just as Arm was on rushing. Wanted to thread it for Sapena, who has 2 go to him again. Henderson. Juan Garcia. Wants to tango with Ferrer. Henderson. Pressed by Dewey Newen. Araha. Northern Phoenix unable to break the Pascoe Vale press right now. That's a delightful idea from Garcia. Just as Sapena was spinning, it trickled away from him.
First glimpse, it looked like it was going to be splitting, similar to how Toby Smith had manufactured an assist for Hume in the first game. The weight just a bit too much, but the idea very pleasant from Juan Garcia.
Dewey Newen on for Arndt. Returned it for Newen, who's got Brown to go at. Evangelista with him. Newen skipped away and scored wonderfully. It's an explosive start from Pascoe Vale, who are 4 up in a flash, and Phoenix want timeout.
Speechless. The Phoenix. And they'll have to try get themselves in order, because Pascoe Vale have come into this game and showcased what they can do at their fluent best.
The Lions have pounced in next to no time, and the first time out of the evening is one where Pascoe Vale lead Northern Phoenix by 4 goals to 0. We return from timeout for the first time tonight. An impromptu one called by Suleiman Mohammed, not what he would have had in mind, as Pascoe Vale, the Lions, have flown out of the traps and they lead Northern Phoenix 4-0 in next to no time. They've just launched themselves into this game, and on a night where both had to win, a fast start all important, Adam. The Lions have got it.
There's claims in which they should be up by a couple of more goals, considering they had moves where they had all the numbers in them. And the team talk was compelling from Suleiman Mohammed, mind you, Ethan, considering he wanted his players to put their bodies on the line for each other and stop the back chat towards each other. They don't right now seem too united on court, which we haven't really seen. We've always seen the Phoenix a united front. It's exactly what Suleiman Mohammed's trying to get across in that timeout.
Evangelista took from Caro's side ball. Phoenix perhaps needing to rise from the ashes to get themselves back into this game. Dewey Newen, Andre Caro, that's a lovely ball to find Evangelista, who's got all the time in the world. Had options surging, but chose to slow it down. Evangelista switched it for Newen, through the legs of Araha, but Garcia was best placed to get in the way. Sapina now swarmed by Caro. Newen comes to join in on the pounce to see if they can pick his pocket. That is expert from Sapina. Garcia dropped it off for Brown, whose ball had too much fire.
Sapina will feel very somewhat disappointed there, Ethan, considering that he'd done so much amazing work in a really, really tight space to get out of it. Immaculate. And then just as they look to transition, having Pascoe Vale displaced in positional order, the wrong move was made, and the Lions have the ball back.
Evangelista threaded it for Newen, who speeded through Lewis and in for 5. It's been a 5-star start for Pascoe Vale, who are running away and running riot.
And Dewey Newen, all uninvited. It was like he was not even on the court, he just ghosted his way in. And he's a finisher of high quality. Seen it time and time again with Western City. And for Pascoe Vale, he's now starting to really shine on court.
Araha's giveaway for On. Newen gave it on the return. They could be in for another. Check one way, and Lewis had to get a palm on it. The move stays alive. Evangelista charging at Araha. Went through the legs and wins the corner.
And the Pascoe Vale bench, it's like children knowing they're going to get ice cream on the way home from a long day at the zoo. They are absolutely gleaming at the moment.
On. Back for Evangelista. Garcia wanted to wriggle away and was given a rather firm drag by Felipe Evangelista, who will go into the book. Perhaps an unnecessary yellow to give away, given the circumstances. Terrific decision made. The man who's come down from New South Wales this evening.
No nonsense. The best way to describe him, I reckon, Ethan. Does not tolerate anything. I tell you what, you have to sort of bite your tongue time and time again when it comes to officials and, well, how hard it really is to manage a game of such quick nature. But right now, man from NSW has been, to put it really bluntly, no nonsense.
Certainly has. Especially when Juan Garcia went to give him a bit of cheek, asked if he was ready. Just slowed it right down. No bothers whatsoever. Certainly for a game which had potential, looked like it might have simmered over. Did the last time these two teams met, Michael Newen was sent off. But right now, Pascoe Vale are in dreamland. And for Northern Phoenix, they are hoping to wake up from a living nightmare.
And just on the official, he's no longer a mystery man, Ethan. Anthony Mansua on broadcast side has yellow on for the second match of round 10. And Oh, he might even throw in no-nonsense Anthony Mansour. That's his nickname.
Squeezed out for Zacharias, who then gave it away to Arn, who's all on his own. And Tyler Lewis makes a terrific save, given the circumstances. Another wide open look. And this time, Northern Phoenix don't come to rue it just yet.
Well, if the stall warnings have gone off, it's basically in a free fall at the moment. From a Phoenix perspective, considering the game's just gone completely out of their hands. They started fantastically. They were quick. Maurizio Novak was having a bit to say to the official, which they could have played into, I suppose, those in Aqua, but since the switch has been flicked, Ethan, Northern Phoenix have not been able to even put a breath into this one.
Newen with a sharp spin. Stellitano got a boot in just in the nick of time. Garcia, Henderson, Stellitano. Phoenix looking for some spark, really, to try and get themselves a goal back in this game, to get themselves something to smile about. Nothing doing at the moment. A truly, truly horrid start for Suleiman Mohammed and co. And Zacharias has given it to Newen, who stung the palms of Lewis. Zacharias now loses out. Newen lost it to Garcia and then got a challenge in. They are swarming, absolutely swarming, whenever Phoenix take even a loose touch.
It's time and time again. You'd think it went wild, considering they just managed to come in waves. And it's like a wave pool right now, Ethan, considering it's non-stop. It's repetitive. Phoenix haven't yet been able to nullify that chink in their armour, which is busted open right now. And Pascoe Vale are loving how they can just come forward in numbers.
Lewis looked for Biliansky, who tried to spin Andre Caro, and Zach Shemazy, who's made the move over to Pascoe Vale. From Northern Phoenix, against his former side tonight for the first time. And certainly, well, he'll be enjoying how things are panning out so far. And Chavanon. Shemazy went spearing for Newen. Henderson took over and was backed into a corner which he couldn't get out of.
Sapena itching to come on and try to change the game. Shemazy. Michael Newen. Bit of power. Lewis able to just plant his feet. Shemazy measures it. Arn. Around Biliansky. Not so much around Zacharias. Henderson with a foot in. Don't think Henderson has had a break yet, Ethan.
He's played every second so far, Henderson, and you got the feeling that might be his task anyway going into this evening. But especially with the way that the game has gone currently, they can't take the risk to take him out of that game, only because when he's pushed forward is when the defensive problems have really been so visible. So to take him out of the game, especially for Sapena, you can't guarantee someone will drop him, and it would leave them even more exposed.
In idle and cruise control are the Lions, although Abdallah had to really shift across. It'll be his ball. He goes truly long. Lewis uses the full length of his D to claim the ball. Biliansky. Stellitano. Henderson. That was an inviting ball. Biliansky not able to be receiving of it. Stellitano. Biliansky has Stellitano on for the pass. A big slide from Arn. Newen keeps the ball just in the nick of play. Abdallah over the top. Henderson able to cut it off. It was intended for Arn. Biliansky has a glimpse. Pascoe Vale just back in positional order behind the ball. Stellitano. Bit pedestrian. Biliansky with a bit of body. Comes in for Zacharias! That's one way to finish. The Phoenix formulate a response, and they reduce the deficit by a goal.
And it's just with the passage of play that's been more like it. It's been done well. They finally got their foot on the ball. They're able to play with pace, and Zacharias with a late run makes a very, very good finish. And he forces Maurizio Novak into a timeout.
Next few moments of the match, and minutes rather, Ethan, really, for the Northern Phoenix, truly, truly important. If they can reduce the deficit and not concede heading towards half-time, they will definitely have themselves in good stead to turn it around as we cross to a timeout break.
We're the Champ Hunters Div 1 Tuesdays. We should not be in Div 1, but nevertheless, we lost 8-3 today, but we're missing Alex Beckers. Send him hate. If you know who he is, please send him hate, and that's it.
Well, that's exactly right, James. Going on with that, our gaffer, we've had a gaffer, for the whole team, and then he hasn't rocked up. Last 2 weeks, Lucas Smarra, you know who you are. You better sleep with one eye open tonight because we're coming for you, mate. You better sleep with one eye open, Lucas Smarra. You know who you are.
I brought the boys over, and we're all former NPL players. If State League want to sign us, we thought we'd take our talents to futsal, and
Well, that's exactly right.
it's absolutely fantastic. And
We return from timeout for the final time in the first half. Phoenix have got a goal back. They've blemished the Pascoe Vale clean sheet in a half which has been a tale of the Lions finding their roar in rapture. Northern Phoenix, though, just have a glimmer at them.
Well, considering still a fair chunk of time left in this first half. If the Phoenix can just come together, try to reduce the deficit further and not concede, they might just be within a sniff come the second half. The Lions now looking to move the ball. Cardle flicking for Kevin Lamb, who has the afterburners to get there. Went to dink it around Lewis, just bounces wide.
And it's not a bad idea at all from Kevin Lamb, who has looked back to his best tonight so far. He's been absolutely dynamite. And that run is another example of just that explosive element. Lewis is never going to get there, but he does the right thing in closing the angle. The clip round him is not the worst idea. It just didn't have the direction.
Henderson, Stellatano, Zacharias. Liansky isn't certain on where to go. And if that's one way to indicate, for those just joining us, how the Phoenix have fared in this one so far, that would be quite the picture. And way to do such. It's been a very uncertain performance from those in Aqua. Ferrer wanted Newen to move. Had to go long for Caro. Finds its way to Theo Statman, who has returned from a 2-month vacation in Mykonos. Has quite the 10 about him. From what he told me, enjoyed a lot of frappes and souvers. Futsal was not the same without him. Great to have him back. Try and get him on the broadcast next week. Cardle. Ferrer. Newen. Tried a party trick. Henderson. Very pedestrian. And now Newen, from nothing, had an opportunity. Well then. That's a compelling story that's starting to unfold. Here is Henderson. Stellatano will keep the move going.
Biliansky. Incredibly pedestrian from Henderson, who had to be more aware in that situation. His blushes were spared. Now Zacharias tried to squeeze it through, nearly broke for Biliansky, but Abdallah was alert and released Lamb quickly. Newen one way, Ferrer on the switch, wanted to steer it, found it to Newen via a deflection or two. Put away by Zacharias, nodded by Caro. Newen, oh that's lovely. Tried to make it back for Caro. And Henderson came hurtling across to crash in a clearance.
It's day and night compared to what we saw from Henderson last week. He was very, very customary and leisurely when approaching the ball in that previous passage. Newman had no right to storm in.
Lamb's got a yard, and Lewis has made an important save. Got the wrong side of Sapina. Delightful ball from Dewey Newen to find him, but once again, Phoenix are all at sea.
They're asleep. There's no other way to really put it. Bluntly, they're napping. And Pascoe Vale are having a field day.
Stellitano, alert to Lamb's ball. Ferrer with a good foot in. Wanting to go with Sapina. Newen, tidy return for Ferrer, who stole the yards and thrashed the side netting. Lewis looked long. It's a tidy take from Stellitano. Caro got a foot in, but it stayed with Stellitano. On for Henderson, who had the sting taken out of it by Dewey Newen, who was not best pleased about their coming together as the ball ricochets off the roof. All seems to be good now.
Well, looked as if they're going to sort it out in the car park after, but then, it's all good. We'll be right. That's the way it should be.
Stellitano. Back for Sapina. Ferrer was hot on the press. He squeezed it through to Stellitano. Henderson. Lovely loft for Sapina. Ferrer and Lamb trying to hold him up. It takes two to stop him. And even then, the only thing that could was a touchline. Outrageous again from Jonathan Sapina. He's been a real injection of life. As Ferreira charges forward. Nearly opened a yard. Biliansky got a foot in. Sapina in retreat. Ooh. Wins a free kick, and that looked rather uncomfortable for the Spaniard.
The groins would not be liking that. And Sapina seems to be okay, but a little bit awkward. The way he just stretched out there.
Stellitano. On for Biliansky. Phoenix trying to work a yard down the flank. Ferreira's not having it. It's a foot in. Wanted Stellitano. Wasn't able to find him. And Newen will let it roll out. Northern Phoenix just wanting to build a bit of ascendancy. Newen found Abdallah, who was greeted by Henderson. Andre Caro. Newen just took the pressure off, then tried to turn it for Michael Newen. Stellitano back for Sapina. Northern Phoenix just in a good patch. He's around Evangelista. And then switched it for Biliansky, who had a yard. Newen made the block. Caro in ahead of Stellitano, and now it could be 3-on-2. Caro's ball for Evangelista, who kept it alive. Advantage for Michael Newen. What a save, Tyler Lewis. Terrific.
Fantastic from Tyler Lewis. Newen really should have scored. Mazen Abdallah had that message right to his captain. Lewis never gave up on it. Great goalkeeping. And the two-time Golden Glove winner. Might just keep the door ajar. They need something here. To the Phoenix. Minute 30 left on the clock, roughly. Henderson went low. Abdallah went down the centre and tried to latch on. Garcia now. Finds Stellitano. Ball goes behind him. Central Garcia. Back to Stellitano. Henderson. Sapina. Stellitano. Onto his left. Stellitano. Bouncing ball. Henderson throws a boot at it. Trying to chip away. There's an aqua, but still not able to properly test Abdallah. Henderson. Stellitano. Trying to go around Kuradate, who bobbles out for a corner.
It's a better patch from Phoenix to end the first half. If they can get another, get themselves within 3, that team talk might shift again a little bit, but they need to make the most of it and not concede, more importantly.
Kuradate, 3 against 2. Lewis looked a bit awkward. Was able to readjust.
Almost on cue.
Timing would not have been sweeter. Pascoe corner. Knew it. On. Evangelista. Trying to bother Gus here with some movement. Arn's shot. Comfortable height for Lewis. Wants to go with intent. Garcia now. Kuradate on the back track. Evangelista works it out. Kuradate down broadcast side is Newitt. They work it out nicely to the Lions. Evangelista wheeling. Sapina puts him on skids. Sapina still going. Trying to draw out all the players for Henderson. And now another 3-on-1 opportunity for the Lions. It's on. Lewis comes out. Brave goalkeeping again from Tyler Lewis. Right on the cusp of half-time. There will be 1 second left in it. A troublesome opening. 20 minutes of stop clock futsal for the Northern Phoenix. And Tyler Lewis has kept them within a breath in this contest. There goes the half-time siren. Pascoe Vale have a 5-goal tally that they've accounted for. Although the Northern Phoenix have the 1 goal, which means it's a 4-goal ball game for our second match of round 10. As we cross the half-time, it's Pascoe Vale in the driver's seat. The scores, 5-1.
The place is an institution, so we thought we might as well. And that's that.
That's exactly right, James. That's it. It's not hard, it's just that we're struggling to find our feet. I think the lack of fitness is really affecting our team. Joining halfway through the season wasn't most ideal, but you know what? We've come across a couple wins and we're doing decent within the team.
Made the block, Caro went ahead of Stellatano.
And now it could be 3-on-2. Caro's ball for Evangelista, who kept it alive. Advantage for Michael Newman. What a save, Tyler Lewis. Terrific.
Fantastic from Tyler Lewis.
Team, you know, there's a lot of politics within the team and problems here and there. When when you got families paying 7, 8, 9 grand, it's not on. But yeah, well, that's exactly right.
Well, you know, for Social League Div 1, we thought this would be all right, but it's a much higher standard than we thought.
Back to Stretch. Now on. Lamb making a run to his left. He's found Kevin Lamb. Ferrer's there to arrive. And Pascoe Vale find their third.
Dewey Newen on for Arn. Returned it for Newen, who's got Brown to go at. Evangelista with him. Newen skipped away and scored wonderfully.
The wrong move was made, and the Lions have the ball back.
Evangelista threaded it for Newen, who speeded through Lewis and in for 5. It's been a 5-star start.
Bit pedestrian, Biliansky with a bit of body. Comes in for Zacharias! And leisurely when approaching the ball in that previous passage. Newen had no right to storm in.
Lamb's got a yard, and Lewis has made an important save. Got the wrong side of the block. Caro went ahead of Stellatano, and now it could be 3-on-2. Caro's ball for Evangelista, who kept it alive. Advantage for Michael Newman. What a save, Tyler Lewis. Terrific.
Fantastic from Tyler Lewis.
And we're not quite equipped for it, but we're working on that.
Yeah, we definitely are.
Yeah, we're working on it. We're improving the arsenal, and we'll get there. We'll get there day by day. We'll adjust.
Unfinished business.
It's 2 words. Disappointment. But there's room for improvement, and that's it, man. That's it.
Well, that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Signing off.
Signing off, James Daniel, starting captain, strikers.
And send hate to Alex Beckers and Lucas Mara.
We return from half-time in a first period where Pascoe Vale were imperious. Started and flew out of the blocks. Phoenix towards the end got themselves a goal, got themselves an interest, but they have a tall mountain to climb if they are to even replicate the result they got when these two met earlier in the season against a Lions team who seem like they have refound their roar and are certainly on the long charge forward. Sapina, hustled by Kuradate, got it out of his feet onto Henderson, whose return down the line was tidy. Sapina. Stellitano, who's got a yard on his left. Abdullah sprawled and then gathered at the second attempt.
The right decision, though, from Stellitano. Liansky was calling for the ball, but a touch too wide. Sapina holding up nicely like he usually does. Can't blame the move, which was for the Phoenix, and Abdullah had to make a save.
There is Abdullah. Lovely ball for Evangelista, whose chest was clean, but Biliansky got in the way. What a smashing ball.
He's done that time and time again tonight. You love seeing that from Abdullah. Has it within his game. He's utilising it to its best right now for Pascoe Vale.
Evangelista, Caro. Biliansky got to boot him. Sapina. Dropped it off for Henderson. Northern Phoenix starting the second half rather brightly. Biliansky. Caro came across to make the block. Now they have to throw it all at it. Henderson. Can he replicate something from 7 days ago? Stellitano. Around Kuradate. Cut it back for Sapina, who laid it off for Biliansky. And Abdallah got across to make the save.
Sapina and Biliansky having a back and forth. So brilliant. Yet again, bit of hold-up play from Sapina. Biliansky wanted it earlier. And perhaps by the time it came to him, he thought about it too much and had it guided right into the path of Abdullah.
Lovely read by Evangelista from Stellitano. He's got Kuradate up with him, who's around Biliansky. Pascoe Vale think he got a retreating touch. However, the officials think otherwise. And Lewis looks long but too wide for anybody.
Bit of disharmony. It's really been evident tonight from a Phoenix perspective. When they are on song together, quite troublesome.
Newen wanted to spin Sapina. Evangelista. Hear the shouts from Mazin Abdallah of keep it. Evangelista does so. On to Kuradate. The cutbacks hold him short. And now Henderson's on the march. Had Stellitano one way, Sapina arriving the other.
Oh.
It's squeezed through to Sapina, who had three around him. Penalty.
Mazin Abdallah. There's only one. He knew the protests were, well, perhaps of comedic effect, but Sapina likes to hold things up. We know that much. And he was impeded upon. No doubt at all. And a very important spot kick, this, considering this would surely kickstart the Phoenix Hearts. A lot of work to do, but it would start here.
Sapina, perhaps for a lifeline. Man who's given them so many moments this season. Can he now really, really wrestle back some Phoenix fortune? Sapina scores. And they're within three. Abdallah frustrated. He got it right in his dive, but it was too much pace, too much precision. And all of a sudden, it's 5-2.
It's not the worst outcome from a Phoenix perspective. Definitely showcasing better signs. Pascoe Vale perhaps with their foot firmly off the pedal, but what can they now do? 2 unanswered goals, which they have conceded. Evangelista holding things up. It's a decent game tonight. so far has the number 14, who's pressed and will have a side ball. Of course, for the Lions, no Matis, Assumpsao or Lucas Vaz this evening. Or Alison Lima. So 3 very experienced players not at the selection table for Maurizio Novak and Aidan Chachi. Nam Pham also part of that quartet, which is not here. Henderson still has not had a spell yet. Sapina trying to go inroads. Karadate and Henderson come together. The question mark really starts to linger around the Phoenix number 4, Ethan. If he can get into this game, anything could be possible, but his body language so far tonight was not what it was from last week, where he was merely unstoppable.
It's a different energy from Henderson so far this evening. And one which hasn't been with the same spark as it was last week against Thornbury. But you're absolutely right, he's a game changer. Someone who's an X-factor. If they can get him into this game, if they're going to leave him out all night, you have to find a way to extract something from him. And if they can, they will get close.
Stellitano. Henderson across the face of goal. Biliansky. Perhaps the target never arrived. Steady up. With a bit more purpose though, the Phoenix. Can they make it come to something further on the scoreboard? Newen. Like the idea. Just going to contain the ball. Oh, Garcia swaps out Biliansky. Henderson wants Stellitano to drift wide. Sapina, broadcast side, gives it back to Henderson. Stellitano, Evangelista, hot on his tail. Garcia, Sapina, flicking back for Garcia. Henderson's on for the pass. Garcia went solo. Abdallah had to make it a stop.
It's a good strike, and it's a good save.
And from the corner, no time to react. The Mad Cat, Henderson, might have just introduced himself into the contest. He scores following the quick corner routine. And all of a sudden, the Phoenix are within 2 goals.
And we said Henderson might be the key, and they've got him into the game just in time for him to come and have a breather. But that goal will fuel him now, because he's got himself an interest in this game and he's gotten into it. And now Phoenix do as well. You can see the body language has completely shifted. They look up for it. Pascoe Vale still look like they're trying to slow the game down. They can't do that anymore. They have to go back to playing at the same speed in the first half, because that's where they had so much success. Slowing it down is what's opening the door.
They're playing at such pace for the Lions, which proved to be all but decisive in the transition. Sapina. Garcia. Brent had a vital intervention in the previous passage. He's in possession now. Stellitano on broadcast side.
Steered it down the line for Sapina. Newen really holding him off. They can ill afford to concede another, Pascoe Vale. Sapina. Stellitano. Switch for Brown. Sapina just starting to try and pick their way through. Set for Stellitano, who sliced it. Right at the moment.
He'd be disappointed, Stellitano. Capable of a lot more. And that shot's not really representation of what he can do.
Michael Newen. That's a lovely ball for Dewey Newen, who's dropped back, was directed well, but Sapina read it equally as such. Sapina wants to spin on. Brown. Newen nearly went for a slide. Garcia guided it beautifully. Brown's got the runners. Garcia was one. Flashed his effort over.
Got to give credit to Brown, though. He looked like for a moment he'd lost the ball completely within his footing. He managed just in the nick of time to play it to Garcia, who blazed over the crossbar, but that's a lot better from the Phoenix. They're really mounting, and Sapinia's been at the forefront of everything positive for them.
And here he is again. Back with two around him. Lamb was one, Dewey Newman was the other. Kevin Lamb's picked his pockets, but with too much force.
Anthony Mansour just letting the tussle completely play out. Lamb thought he was away. Sapenia was fouled.
Brown. On for Sapenia. Once again. Stelitano. Sapenia. Lamb wanted to shut the door. Arm came hurtling across. Brown couldn't get it through to Garcia. Ran out of room. Just a bit of the sting being taken out of this most recent passage. Dewey Newman. Wanting to go at Brown. Looking for a way inside. He spun Brown sharply and smashed his effort across the face. There was no one running. And Tyler Lewis knew that, letting himself know. Just to see it across. Stelitano to restart things. Finds his keeper. Adam, it just looks like Pascoe Vale have lost that bite that they had in the first period.
Phoenix have done a decent job of just playing the game on their terms, nullifying the pace of the Lions, and it's playing into Phoenix's favour. Just slowing the game down. Sapenia yet again just being at the forefront of everything, holding the ball up, awaiting the movement around him. Trying to draw out some Pascoe Vale players for some space to open up for the Northern Phoenix.
Here's Brown. Back for Sapenia. Two to go at. Stelitano. Brown. Juan Garcia. Steered it back for Brown. He wanted to set it for Garcia. He ran himself into a cul-de-sac.
Pascoe Vale, on the other hand, just in damage control. Not trying to force too much. Not trying to overcommit. Of course, their 5-goal buffer has been a little bit damaged since, but they aren't really exerting themselves too much at the moment. Not sure how it might play into their hands, though.
Stelitano in ahead of Lamb, then ran into Garcia, who flashed his effort across the face. Abdallah was sprawled, but didn't need to worry.
The pace really out of this one, but not the wind. Brown, lovely first touch. Sapenia. Garcia has Brown deeper. Has Sapenia streaming. Now on. They can flip the switch here, the Lions. 2 against 2. Arn takes it on. Garcia got his body in the way. As Garcia had Sapenia on for the pass, it impeded Arn. Anthony Mansour in position to sound his whistle.
It's just very well defended by On. Protected the space around the ball, got his body in the way, and just drew the contact. Knew that Garcia might fancy a go at trying to win it back because the attack would have been open. Instead, gets it wrong. Just in the nick of time, gives away a free kick.
Newman certainly has it to score from this distance. You look to roll it instead. Newman. They both combine. Michael has the shot ricochet off an aqua shirt at the expense of a corner. And waiting for the movement. Sapenia happy to concede yet another. Pascoe Vale take the corner. Newman. Lamb. 1-on-1 with Garcia. Newman. Dewey has Michael lingering around him. Arn. Nearly a smashing ball for Newman. He still has his foot onto it. Abdallah wanting to sprawl forward. A nice idea from the Mad Cat. Newman able to find Dewey out wide, although he had to stretch to try keep it alive. Phoenix now looking to conjure up something. Stelitano. Shifting. Sapenia. Holding. Garcia was there. Lamb now. 2 against 1 for Pascoe Vale. Lamb went solo. Lewis went low. At the other end, it's 3 against 2. Stellitano for Garcia. Abdallah with a save. Stellitano still. Abdallah again with a stop.
Brilliant goalkeeping from Azan Abdallah. Comes out to close the angle on the first attempt. The second that Stellitano picks it up, it's a fabulous save. A rolling foul for the clip on Kevin Lamb. And at the other end, Tyler Lewis gets down low. A little bit ginger to get up, but it's an important stop. Lamb had closed the angle on himself.
Trying to perhaps go through the gates of the keeper. Kevin Lamb, it was the right idea, if you ask me. Lewis able to match the objective. Stellitano not found. Lamb. Dewey Newen across the face. Garcia. Barnstorming his way through Bazaar. Newen. Try the bottom corner. Captain protesting. Just touch for a corner. Henderson back on. Nearly the halfway point of this half reached. To their credit, the Phoenix have come back into this. Although both sides still not really at their full capacity yet since the start of the stop clock 20.
Just in this second half. Phoenix started strong, got themselves a goal, and are now having to weather a bit of a storm. You can see the legs starting to go a touch as Newham is on the follow-in, and it's another important stop from Lewis. Sapina now the other way. Not around On, who stripped him of it. Newham the other up with him. On went alone and hit the side netting. Maurizio Novak thought it was the wrong option. Henderson did the right thing in holding and then forced him into that decision.
I might say it week in, week out, but my opinion, take it with a grain of salt. Can't fault Arndt for making a decision. He wasn't indecisive, even if it wasn't the right one, in taking the shot on. That's what Maurizio Novak thought, and he might be right. I still appreciate players just making a decision and sticking to it.
Garcia, cut out by Arndt. Dewey Newen picked it up. Wanted to spin Garcia. Abdallah, who's got On, streaming forwards, and his ball had too much weight on it, perhaps for the first time this evening. The Mad Cat has gone with too much force.
He had more time there, Abdallah.
Sapina, back for Biliansky, who's still snipping at the heels, and caught one from Arn.
Ooh.
And it'll be a free kick for Phoenix, who wants some further action.
Abdallah asking the officials, when's it our free kick? Maria Patrica sees the funny side to it. On the edge of the area. It's the last way they scored the Phoenix. What can they conjure up? Would make it a very intriguing ball game if something's to transpire here.
This would get them incredibly close, within one. And it would set this game right back on course. Biliansky into the palms of Abdallah, who didn't have any on-rushers and was waiting for everybody to stream. Dewey Newen obliged him. Biliansky got a bundle and got a barge from Newen. Henderson the other way has flashed his effort wide.
Abdallah was taking no chances. Threw himself at it. Was going well wide. Of course, from our angle, a lot more easy to spot. But that has been 5 fouls. Well, the siren went. It's only 4 fouls, but for a brief moment, thought it might have been the 5th. But Pascoe Vale are on 4. And that could play into the favour of Phoenix.
Evangelista on for Andre Caro, who tiptoed, and Henderson got across. Have to be faultless almost from here, the Lions. They don't want to give up a gilt edge opportunity. have themselves a corner. In a game which has become a real arm wrestle. Bilianski told to back away a few yards. Caro got it back from Arn and threaded it only to Garcia, who's got Sapina up with him. Evangelista in retreat. Garcia went early and didn't quite catch it as sweetly as he would have liked.
Off half a step though. Can't really complain with the elevation he purchased. Pascoe Vale still just idling. They're not exactly going too hard at it right now. Look towards the doctor to see if he can try to shake things up. Let's have it back in their favour. Evangelista hustles away Henderson. Bilianski's lifted in this second half. Sapina finds him somehow. Bilianski! Brilliant save from Abdallah. Garcia couldn't react in time. That was more like it again from the Phoenix.
Brilliant save from Abdallah, and the follow-in from Garcia. It just comes at him with too much pace. He can't control it and get the deftness on it that he needs just to turn it in. And instead, as a result, blazes over. But they are knocking on the door, and Pascoe Vale at the moment are holding on with everything.
The margin not far away from being halved if the Phoenix are to score. Araha reinstated. Arn's corner. Ferrer arrives. They'll try it again. The Lions. Ferrer. Arn has Caro peeling off very wide. Evangelista, a bit shallower. It's worked back to the Mad Cat, who had to go in the end. Slima Mohammed with a clap towards his troops on court. A lot more unified, a lot more galvanised, a lot more chemistry on display now from the Phoenix. Bilianski gets it back from Sapina. Big slide from Arn. Play resumes with Ferrer. Evangelista to his left. Lewis with a big save yet again.
Now walking the tightrope are Pascoe Vale. This is a well-timed challenge from Arn. Wins the ball. The man is collateral damage, but the save from Tyler Lewis at his near post is a good one. Has little time to react as Evangelista hits it sweet. Steered away for a corner, but that is where Pascoe Vale will start to get more joy if they can go back to drawing Phoenix on the break.
Arn, piercing ball for Evangelista. Slides to get there. Caro trying to make things work right in the engine room. Bounces out of play for Raha to chase. Compelling these last few minutes. Moments for both sides. Phoenix really chipping away. Can they find something extra to get themselves back in this game on the scoreboard? Araha. Evangelista with the block. Araha keeps it alive. Bilianski. Sapina. Must be said, the man lingering towards the back post has really lifted Sapina. Henderson threw a boot at it. Abdallah. It was easy for him to delegate. Araha. Done just enough to prevent Evangelista from strolling further up the court.
Such a good look for Henderson, though. He fresh airs it. If he gets any connection on it, there's a good chance it goes in from that range. It's that kind of half chance, but they might have another.
And now Sapina. It broke open for him. Bilianski. Back for Sapina, who's drifted wide. Arn tried to shift beyond Bilianski. It was unnecessary considering Ferrer was beelining away. Great save from the Mad Cat, but how the heavens opened for Jonathan Sapina. Caro, not around Bilianski. Boy, is he lifted. Sapina now has an opportunity. Onto his left. Bilianski! Abdallah with the save, and away goes the Mad Cat. Has Evangelista, who has on, but Evangelista won't need him. And the Lions are able to reinstate some dominance back on the scoreboard. Boy, how they cried out for that. And they went and got it with Felipe Evangelista.
Comes just at the right time as well from Evangelista, who's looked dangerous all evening. And it's a really good decision from Abdallah to continue the run. It draws the man, leaving the far post completely unmarked. Tyler Lewis in two minds. He can't come off his line to close it then. is left stranded as Evangelista picks his corner and places it to perfection. And just when you thought Phoenix might be setting themselves up for a smash and grab, Pascoe get one, and Caro's kept it alive, got around Araha, and won a free kick, and Araha will get a booking.
The sliding doors moments again, Ethan. That goal turnaround. How important the save was from Abdallah. He's still wearing the pain from it, you can see. But as he got up, he was the architect of that 6th goal, which Lions had scored. And, well, the doctor went down. And to quote Michael Newman, you don't mess with the doctor.
The doctor now has a chance from the free kick. He's been precise so far. Prescriber of many a remedy, whatever ailment any team may have. Caro Ferreira didn't wrap it. For Henderson from Lewis, who's had a much more lively second half, but still, you feel if Phoenix are to get themselves back on track, needs a bit more as Sapina, with a touch from Abdallah, crashes the post.
And Chachi with a nervous look towards out of the scoreboard and stop clock.
There's an Abdallah protesting his innocence. Never a dull Friday in Darabin. Behind Stellitano, Lewis had to go as Ferreira was charging. And went so long for the Mad Cat, who had a look and didn't test Lewis, who wasn't best pleased about it. Lamb and Sapina battling. Phoenix have a corner.
Looked as impressed as a child rejecting vegetables. Was Tyler Lewis.
Araha lost out to Lamb, who couldn't get by Henderson. Araha all the way home. That's very tidy to find Stellitano, whose touch took a deflection off Evangelista. Lewis on for Sapina, who shifted away from one, away from two. Nearly had it come back to him. Caro wants to go on his own. And Henderson this time has bundled him into the boarding.
Jesus. Caro absolutely clammed into the side boardage here. It was all natural momentum, no malice, but the doctor showcasing some bottle.
Herrera on for Sapina. Abdallah got a touch and had to. Araha's corner flicked out by Lamb. Evangelista just poked it on to Henderson quicker than he would have liked.
Some mantle from the doctor can't be understated. He collected that desk, but stood up. It never fazed him.
Michael Nunn just having a look to see who came off worse, the desk or Andre Caro in that situation. As he said, don't mess with the doctor. Evangelista for Lamb. And all the sting is being taken out of the situation. Lamb now puts on the afterburners and couldn't square it back for Evangelista. Maybe he could have gone on his own. The chance had opened up for him. But he went the unselfish route. Wasn't quite rewarded.
It's almost like David Silva from Man City back in the day, where he was in the best position to shoot. Wanted to pass instead. Sapina. Trying to tease everybody. Evangelista isolated as he strolls forward. Lamb on for the pass. Is cut back for Rare. Couldn't sort out his positional advantage. That's what they had. Pascoe Vale with the numbers. It's been a really decent managerial performance from Maurizio Novak. How to really isolate his players offensively. Sapina. Stellitano. Abdallah flicks on. Great touch from Evangelista. Lewis denies him. Sapina and Lamb come together. Back to the Mad Cat, who's had some game tonight. Chipping ball. Lewis had the height. A Raha whistle sounds. And that's 5 fouls. Inside the last 5 minutes. A 3-goal deficit the Phoenix are chasing, but they do have 5 fouls up their sleeve, considering Pascoe Vale have conceded that amount.
And they're going to have to be faultless till the end now, the Lions. And it was a rather needless one for Evangelista to give away for a 5th. Tyler Lewis had all of that. Didn't need to do it, but it just puts him on a tightrope and it just thins the ice where it wasn't quite necessary. Mateo Novak just getting the reasoning as to why. And Tyler Lewis certainly was impeded by Felipe Evangelista.
Due to the uncertain nature, unpredictable nature of the Phoenix, you'd expect Pascoe Vale to see this game out completely with no hassles, but you just feel as if there are sleeping dogs on court in that infamous Aqua. Sapinia's been trying. Henderson's been there. Stellitano has much of the same, but if they can ignite Ethan, anything might be possible. Garcia, Stellitano. Can he just bring himself into this game? Henderson. Romario wants a corner. Dallett will have the ball. Some game he's had the Mad Cat. Lamb was the target. Sapina. Garcia. Corner. They've scored from one already tonight. Henderson lurking. Sapina arriving short. Flicking. Caro not clearing. Garcia! Fine margins. Della not tested. Would have been beaten. Had all the power. The effort from Garcia, just not the direction. And here he is. Stellitano. Can he come to life? Henderson. Stellitano was your player of the week for round 9. Sapina. Stellitano. Henderson. Garcia. Corner again. They're building here, Ethan.
It's well timed from Andre Caro on the block, but it's much better from Phoenix. When they shift that ball around at pace is where they're creating some joy. Stellitano miscued it. And Ferreira might go on the charge down the other way. Lamb arriving, Newen 2 on the switch, and he's urging for it. Was Michael Newen, found eventually by Caro. Wanted to go at Anderson. And back for Abdallah, who's got 2 he could search for. Caro was 1. Lewis got there on the second attempt. Sapina. And Tyler Lewis has worn one in an awkward spot. Garcia couldn't steer it back for Sapina. Pascoe Vale doing very well to take the sting out of the situation. Newen. Ferreira. Telegraph.